West Ascension Consolidated Drainage District is called to order for March 1st, 2018. If you don't mind, we're going to do the invocation. Please stand. Bow head. Dear Lord, bless this great parish, bless this great state. Oh Lord, bless all the armed forces service members who fight for our freedom and give us the right to free speech here. And also, Lord, give us the strength to make the right decision for this drainage board and for the community. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call. We have everyone here except Mr. Ron Savoy. That's it, huh? All right. Item number 3, accepting the minutes for January 4th of 2018.
Motion.
Motion, second. No objection. Motion. Pass. Item number 14, St. James Assumption drainage issue update. Mr. Thomas Pierce.
Meeting was held on February the 10th between St. James, Ascension, and Assumption parishes, as well as the Lafourche Basin Levee District, and the area legislators regarding the wetland mitigation costs. Total cost for the wetland mitigation was $159,000. The 3 parishes agreed to a cost share of $75,000 with Ascension, $52,200 with St. James, and $31,800 with Assumption. T. Baker Smith requested a 45-day extension from the U.S. Corps for the notification of intent to purchase the mitigation, because originally they had given 15 days, and that was granted on February the 20th. Okay. To allow for the 3 parishes to obtain approval of their council to purchase the mitigation. The notice of intent for the mitigation purchase is now due back to the Corps by April 6th. The Lafourche Basin Levee District will seek approval from their board to handle dredging of the canals and all other support services to the construction. Assumption Parish was set to approve their portion of the mitigation funds last night. St. James is anticipated to approve their portion of the mitigation funds by March the 21st. Once the mitigation is paid for, the Corps should issue the permit within 2 weeks. Once the permit is received, the Lafourche Basin Levee District can begin working on the property access servitudes. I talked to St. James Parish President, told him what we had to do as far as for the resolutions. He said he would put it forward for their meeting. I think it's on Wednesday the 7th, and if he couldn't get it through then, he would get it on the next meeting of the St. James Parish Council by the 21st, so we can meet that April 6th deadline. I also spoke to Assumption Parish's representative, Mr. Henry Dupree, and last night they did approve their portion of in a resolution. So before you, we have a resolution for you guys to approve tonight or to consider.
A motion to approve the resolution as written to pay for the mitigation for the drainage.
All right, second that. Any objection? No objection? So moved. Resolution is approved. All right. Moving on, item number 5. The city of Downsonville, I guess that's gonna be me. We sat down, Greg, you didn't hear nothing from him? Legal department haven't heard anything from him?
I've not heard a word.
The only thing I heard was GSA sent us an email wanting us to assist the city in cleaning out Tebow Road in front of the city. and across the railroad track to, help drain and do some work over there, but as far as any kind of agreement, I hadn't heard anything.
Just to let the public know, we went and had a meeting with the city of Donaldsonville due to, manpower, that we have with the parish and trying to do all the work outside and inside the city limit. We, made a proposal to the city of Donaldsonville to offer to purchase a, new Kubota to dig inside the city on the roadside, ditches inside the city, and some other things. We have not heard back from them, and we are hoping that they're will look at this here and be favorable of doing it. That would also help the parish with inside the city, cutting down some of the work we have inside the city. So hopefully they can get back with us. Greg or Craig, and reach out back to one of them, or I will too, and see what they would, prefer to do. Okay? No other question on that? I'm sorry, at the beginning of the meeting, I was supposed to add item 5A to it. If I have no objection to adding that to our meeting right there, Mr.
No objection.
All right, and that item 5A is to Lower Saw Delta Water Conservation District. We normally pay $2,000 to part of our portion of it, of what they do in Ascension Parish with the soil conservation. I need a motion to approve the $2,000 to pay Lower Saw Conservation.
So moved.
So moved. Second, no objection. Motion is approved. All right. Item number 6, 11th Street and Highway 1 drainage issue. Update, Greg.
I emailed the railroad track on February the 6th, no response. I emailed them again February the 26th and still haven't had a response. The last I've heard, they're still reviewing the drawings that we sent on what we want to do on the railroad track ditch, and that's all I get.
Well, Greg, I know for a fact right now they're about to redo some stuff on that railroad track, because they're pushing stuff all on the side of it right now. So,
Well, Craig informed me the state that they down in Modas clearing some trees and everything else, so,
Yeah, on Highway 1 North, on Smoke Bend area and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I see they cleaning some trees and stuff out.
you don't know how far they're going down. huh?
No, I don't know if they coming all the way to town with it or what.
Okay. All right. Well, Greg, all I can do is just stay on it, Item number 7, Bonnie Lane. Greg.
still we're sitting, waiting on, find out what we're gonna do with the agreement, with the city. The ditch definitely needs digging, but I don't wanna go and start getting in anything that's gonna be illegal or that we don't have any agreements on.
And I guess my question is to our attorney. The mayor sent us a letter that saying that we can dig regularly, but
We need a servitude agreement from the property owner. We cannot go dig on private property, because just even if the city asks us to, they gotta provide a servitude.
well, and
This
that's
is on the road,
I mean,
not our own road.
If it's in their servitude, we could do something. If it's not in the servitude, that's their response. They've gotta get us a servitude to let us do it.
well, the problem is with it is it had a driveway and it had a broken cover. Well, we do not repair, if we digging in the city, we're not, I mean, if I'm mistaken here, we don't pull back cement and we don't buy cover for them. I mean,
No, you can do the drainage work, but you don't, unless the parish caused the problem, you shouldn't do the cement or the drainage or the culverts. Everybody else has to pay for their own culverts.
I'd like to add this, we do have an agreement with the city of Gonzales to clean the outfall ditches in the city of Gonzales if we have servitude on them. Same thing in Sorrento. Sorrento wants us to dig some parish roads, some city roads in the city of Sorrento, And we have an agreement with them to clean the outfall ditches that we have servitude on, but we don't have any kind of agreements to dig any kind of road ditches in their servitude. And you start doing it over here, and it look like you can open a can of worms for Sorrento and Gonzales to say, well, if y'all doing it in Sorrento, I mean Donaldsonville, y'all can clean the roads in Sorrento and Gonzales.
Well, Craig left. I've been down there, and that's the issue, and I guess, once again, O'Neill, I guess we're gonna have to sit down with the city of Donaldsonville, with their legal and you, and work out something here.
Yes.
You know, what we're gonna do, cause, I mean, this is becoming a problem, you know? Cause if no one won't give, that means nothing is being done. And so, you know.
Well, as the drainage board, you set the priorities. You don't have enough money to do every ditch every day, so you have to set a priority, and that's your legal responsibility as the drainage board.
And that's pretty much what we did as far as the proposal we gave them, you know?
Yes.
But we just hadn't had an answer from them yet.
So, okay, all right. Item number 18, Highway 18, Highway 3120, drainage update, Greg.
The only thing I heard was that they are still studying the engineer design sent by Darrell Primo, the parish engineer. State's still studying that to figure out what they're gonna do down there. And the culvert size and everything that he sent them, you know. That's the last I heard on it.
Maybe, when's the last time you checked with them? Is it DOT? Is
I
that-
checked with Darrell last week to make sure he had done the drawings and everything, and I put a call in for Aaron, but I didn't get it, you know, I didn't get a call back from him or anything, but, you know, I'll check again next week.
Yeah. Well, where is CF in that?
I really don't know. I mean, they were supposed to dug out the ditch on their property and buy the covers and everything from what I can understand, but I don't know where they stand as far as, you know. Last I heard that DOTD was still waiting on, permit approval and stuff like that. So I'm gonna touch bases again with Aaron and see where they stand.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Councilman, for the record, there may be some issues now, you're within 1,500 feet of levee. When the river gets high, sometimes I remember they didn't even
Yeah.
let you replace the,
Yeah, but-
Well, I
power
mean, the
poles
state-
that went
the
down.
state should know that.
Yeah.
Item number 9, West Ascension Drainage Master Plan. And on this item right here, it's just not master plan, Mr. Bill in here, but I have a couple of speakers have some drainage issue, but once again, that is in the Modus area. And I'd like to, first, I see Mr. Billy Haywood is coming up there. Mr. Billy, you got the floor.
Let me give you this here before we start here. This is what I have requested, and I don't have many copies yet, but I think O'Neill needs
You
one.
got O'Neill, get a
Well,
copy.
I'm gonna get a copy of
Here.
it.
O'Neill.
Oh, how many?
No, no, I just got one. Okay. It looks like that y'all agreed with me on, cause you could read where it says about the attachment there. You see that where it says Mr. Pierce? You could read that out there, Mr. What it says about that, and then all the stuff on the bottom. Could you And it says it's protected by a law. And I have a copy of the law with it attached. I gave it to you. I don't have it. But it's
All right. O'Neill, you done glance over that?
on the last page I gave you, it says, they have that law, it says that I can't stop them and they can't stop me. And,
Well, that's the natural flow, but we can't go dig on it.
well, if it just said you can't stop it up, it's stopped up. That man, that knows it's stopped up, right there, for sure.
Okay, O'Neill, okay. Explain this,
Well, that's the natural flow of water. But that doesn't mean we can go dig on it. We can't go on somebody's property without a servitude. If it's naturally blocking up, then some issues we have to deal with, but we still can't go out there and dig, they won't give a servitude.
Yeah, but where does this law take you? What does this law mean right here? What does that mean? Does that have anything to do with property
Well,
owner?
they can't prevent it, but we can't, that doesn't mean we can go on it.
Who does it? What's the next move I make?
I can only tell you might want to consult a lawyer.
No, that's what I'm consulting you for.
No,
Last
I
time you
represent
said
this
was here
board,
for a
I don't
lawyer.
represent you.
Yeah, I'm just saying that you're the lawyer, you're a lawyer.
Hold on. All right. Mr. O'Neill,
Yes,
this is similar to the situation St. James is in.
right.
They made a judgment call, and they went and got on some property because they thought it was a what, drainage, whatever,
I don't know what they did.
whatever they thought. But somebody filed a complaint on it, Dylan. And once again, that held the parish president in charge because he say he did something illegal. You know, once again, Billy, I'm only gonna tell you. My legal counsel is right over there,
Yeah,
okay?
I got you.
Now, that's what I got to deal with.
I understand.
I would love to help you.
But I'm
Okay, but
wondering,
I gotta go with my legal
which way
counsel.
do I go if I do, would it be at my expense if it's a law of Louisiana? It looks like that in the drainage, I don't have equipment to go dig somebody else, I can't do it anyway.
Once again, Billy, we would dig it if we had service to.
Or if you have a servitude, but we're not
What
gonna.
I'm saying is it's stopping up all the water off the river is coming in on me, and then they got a natural drainage which it just never had been taken care of.
And Billy, look, I'm having this problem up and down in my district right now, okay? Craig got one right there on 308. The problem is right now, because whatever happened to us in this state, we cannot go on anybody's property unless we have a written agreement, authority from property owner, or is it already recorded in the parish record? And if Bill Rue was here, our attorney, if I'm saying something wrong, Mr.
No, we
O'Neill?
don't. If the court says that authorizes us to go there, we'll go do it, or if they gave a servitude, but it may be that these are rights between landowners, the obligations of owners. It's the rights between landowners, it's not a governmental right to go dig a ditch.
The ditch is already done. The ditch has been there for 1,000 years probably.
Well,
Except for when they dug that main fluid ditch down there, they thought that would relieve all of it, but it don't relieve all of it. It's just gotta go on a natural way. And in order to go the natural way, you're gonna have to dig another thing 6 or 7 foot deep. But the natural way is right across.
But
Where does the law come in? That's what I wanna know about the law. If it's a law, it looks like that I should have something protecting me if it's a law on that.
But that law protect us, saying that
Protect
we must
y'all.
get approval, correct, O'Neill?
Well, the law's.
Not the law he's looking
He
Yeah.
would have a cause of action against his neighbor for blocking his drainage.
Against the state?
Whoever's doing the blocking, if it's the landowner that won't give us the right of way, the landowner that will not grant the servitude, if it's his servitude that's blocked,
Right.
you would have a cause of action against him to make him allow you to drain there.
So I'd have to go get a lawyer and to pursue this.
Or get him to give us a servitude, if it's
No,
a
I can't
ditch.
get nobody to get a servitude. I mean, that's all out the window. The only thing is, when I saw where it was a law, I figured that the law should be to protect me, not to protect, don't say protecting it's the law of Louisiana, don't say nothing about protecting the parish.
This deals with landowners, it's the surveying estate and the dominant estate. It's not the government.
But why does it say you can't stop anybody? Why does the law say that? That's what I can't understand. Why does the law say that?
But
Since the owner of a surveying estate may do nothing to prevent the flow of water, the owner of the dominant estate may not do anything to render the servitude more burdensome. There's no servitude there. There's gotta be a servitude for us to act on it.
Well, my great-grandfather was police chief a long time ago when they started all the flue ditches and stuff coming off the river.
And
That's what I said, but they didn't have no record back then?
That's the problem. That's the problem. Believe me, I fought this here Craig is on the West Bank. He been digging these ditches for 30 years.
Oh, yeah, I know.
All right.
I know.
When he was came down here to ask for a document, Craig said, well, we've been digging that ditch for 30 years. Then legal said you go back on it, and you ain't got a document, he can lose his job. Because we don't have the proper paperwork authority to go on their property.
Okay, so the law don't mean nothing? Is that what you're telling me?
The law,
Y'all
once
agree
again,
with me
if
on
it's a
everything about the
roadside
drainage
ditch,
and all that
if
stuff?
it's a roadside ditch,
It
and
ain't a roadside, it's
and you-
natural drainage.
I understand that, what
And
you're
it's
saying.
stopped up.
But if the owners does not give us the right to get on their property,
So they can cause me a burden.
believe me, we've been going through this here now since,
Who
this,
else got
how
that?
long now, for a year and a half now, Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Who else has that?
Huh?
Somebody else
Mr.
got that?
Landry got that just now, huh? Yo, straight Mr. Landry problem?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
it
we
straight.
got,
We got it.
we scheduled to go on him next week, and, but we
Yeah,
had
well,
to get,
there you go.
we had to get signed right away to get on the other people's property before we could help him.
I mean, the law has changed that we cannot go on anybody's property anymore
Well, the law
unless we
says a
have a
little bit
written
different to me.
document.
I see it says, it's a law, I just figured the law would protect me, but I guess the law ain't there to protect me against my landowner if he says no.
And that's the problem, the two landowners.
Do what?
Well, you and the other
No, you got a
landowner,
bunch of more that's suffering because of that. I'm just the last one in line, that's all.
once again, that's where we at. I'm sorry.
Thank y'all.
Miss Linda and her husband,
So the law won't protect me? I gotta pay a lawyer. to
Good
sue the
evening,
state.
my name is David Hampton, my wife Linda, we live in Modest. And, we want to know the procedure, what we have to do to get somebody to, dig up the trees out the ditch. Water don't drain out our yard, the trees is growing in the ditch. We get a parish permission to cut the tree down, but they left the stumps. They came on the property, cut the tree down, tore up my fence, which I didn't care. I didn't worry about the fence. In other words, the tree probably gonna fall on the telephone line, but the stump's still there. And the stump is in the middle of the ditch. Now, my profession is a heavy equipment operator. Now, I could go rent a piece of equipment and dig it up myself. You know? But I had to send the parish the bill. But that's not my ditch, that's the parish ditch.
no. Mr. Hampton, Craig, you recall that?
Y'all recall
You got
that,
two trees in the middle
that
of the
we,
ditch.
got the, power and light people to cut the trees, the limbs down from around the
Yeah.
wire and stuff for them, yeah. They did do that, and they cut the limbs down and everything, and then the parish agreed to go pick the limbs and stuff up. And it's in the, parish ditch. It was
In the
off the
middle of
parish
the
ditch.
Yeah, because the water don't drain out my yard because it can't go to the natural flow because the trees is a dam.
Craig, can you send somebody out there to verify that, see if we're in the servitude, the tree's in the servitude?
Give me an address and I'll go personally and take a
Servitude
look
is
at it
in the
and
middle of the
get Bill
ditch.
Salvo with me to make sure we do have a servitude.
Okay.
What's your address, sir?
6481 Highway 405. I had a question too. The ditch that in front my son's trailer, it holding a lot of water. He was cutting grasses and it had snakes in it. I have two grandkids. They plays in their yard. If any of y'all decide y'all wanna ride up there tomorrow, that ditch been full of water. Something gotta be done about that. Cause suppose one of them get bit.
Is that on Highway 405 itself?
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a state highway. I can touch bases with Aaron Ellisor on it and see if they can get a work order made to clean it out for you.
All right, it's a state highway, but the water drains off the state ditch. It goes toward the Canfield. That's the natural grade, right?
Yeah,
All
and
right.
that's the point that they have
So
to get.
what the deal is, you got your ditch right here, and right at the edge of that ditch that's going in Canfield, they got a big hump right there. So the
Is-
water can't drain and go this way.
Is that the same ditch with the tree in it, or?
No, this is another ditch. It's by
Is
my son's
that,
house.
is that ditch on your property?
It's on my son's property. Well, it's our property, but
If I can
They
get
can go in there, give Craig permission,
If
the
I can
other
get
day,
a
I
s-
said, it's no problem, you can go in there, but
If
at
I-
the same time, before, they had that road right by the cane field, where they used to just take that road and go around and dig that ditch out. I mean, so what's the problem is going that way now, but
Well,
they
that's-
can still come on our property, we don't have a problem with
Let's
it.
go back to the servitude and stuff
Yeah, if I
they
can
did.
get a
We
signed
gotta get
servitude.
servitude for, to go on the person's property now.
Okay, well, it's
Really?
no problem, cause like I told you on the other
We give
day,
y'all permission to come on our property, so if we gotta put it down in writing, hey, come on.
And
Just like,
that's the biggest thing right there.
that's just like when they
Being
came
right.
on our property, we gave them right to, I had a Scotch fence. I had a Scotch fence, but the trees fell down and tore it up, and which
We
I
didn't
didn't
worry
care.
about it.
We didn't worry about it. I was gonna put a brand new fence back up, you know? The fence was
Right.
good. It was a good Scotch fence, but after the trees and limbs tore it down, I didn't even worry about it. I just wanted my yard cleaned up and keep the trees from falling on the limbs. I would say keep the limbs from falling on the telephone wire, from keep from cutting everybody electric off, so I didn't even worry about it.
but even in front of our home,
But like I said, it left the stump.
they still have a lot of water, you know, this you going down by the Park Road, going back there, if you pass there, it's sitting, water just sitting there. And I wanted to know who I speak about, or talk to about a cover I have on a piece of property. I can't get on there, I need to put a cover down,
But
so,
that's the state.
the state,
Yes, ma'am, if it's on Highway 405, you'd have to talk to the state and get a permit from them.
okay, I just have to get a permit for them to
Yes,
come do
ma'am.
that.
No,
No, we have to
you
do
have to
it
get a
ourselves.
permit for you to do it.
Yeah,
They-
we don't
the
set cover.
state-
But it's no problem, I'm just
No,
trying to
I'm
find out
I'm
how
I'm
to go
just
about
letting
doing
you
it.
know ahead of time, you know.
Yeah.
You have to go to that, and the state is worse than anybody, cause they might take 6, 7 months before they even come to dig the ditch,
So if we put it down without a permit, I could dig it myself.
you know, so.
Well, the only thing bad that
Yeah.
you're encroaching on their property, and if you put the cover down and it's not at the right elevation or the right size cover,
Well,
They
I
got the
can
right
get-
to
I can
dig it
get
up.
Everything I need to shoot the grade, I can shoot my own grade.
that's why you need a permit though, so they can size out the cover and let you know what size that they recommend to go in it.
Well, see, they already got it covered there, and all I do is get one the same size, and
I'm just
Great.
telling you to save you some trouble, get a permit from the state.
Things can change, you have to get the state approval.
Okay, we'll get the state to do
Right.
it, okay.
And you can come to our office and we would,
Yeah, you could come to the office and we put the request in and we'll send it, get it to the state.
Okay, just like Ms. Genova, the lady right there by us.
Mhm.
There are nothing but trees and she like holding rats and they got snakes and everything. Why can't the parish or who we can talk to trying to get at least some of that property cleared off? Like I noticed in the sheep the other day, they was talking about the property in Donaldsonville, but because of we in that rooted area up there, it looked like they just forgot about people in Modest, and I don't think that's fair.
So-
Somebody need to come up there and just take a look, take pictures, even if I have to get the news people to come up there and look like other people do, something have to be done. She over there, she can't go out there and cut no grass, she can't pay to get no grasses cut, and even when the parish cut, you got an arm on your machine. It ain't gonna hurt you 2 minutes, you not off the main highway, to reach that arm up enough to cut in front of that ditch. You can't tell me they can at least do that much.
what's it?
And I asked them,
Lady, if the property owner called and say they trespassed on their property without authority, what's gonna happen to that parish employee? What can
You're
happen
gonna get
to us?
arrested right there, probably a good,
but if we give them permission to do it.
we still can't do work on private property, you gotta cut your own grass.
So what good is us for to have the parish and this and that, and we can't get no justice done at no time? Nobody never come to Modest and do anything up that road. Have you ever been to Modest to look to see how Modest look up there? Huh?
Other words, what she's
Is any
saying,
of y'all ever been up
what
there?
she's saying,
Yeah.
everybody, worried about the blighted houses in Donaldsonville, trying
But
to
they
get
forget about
even
Modest.
over there in Gonzales, anything blighted, they ready to tear it down and make the land
Make it
on
look
it,
good.
clean it up, make it look good, but in Modest, they don't care how it look.
The
Don't
levy,
worry
look
about-
the levy.
Don't worry about the blighted property in the rural area.
Once again, I'm gonna disagree with you because I know, Mr. O'Neill, how many times I have tried to pass a grass cutting ordinance in the rural area? How many, and then
Well, if you can't get it passed, who can you go to, or
once
who can
again,
we go to?
if you pass an ordinance like that, you have to pass it parish-wide.
Well, they need
And
to do
once
something.
again,
And
I
they
have
do it
other
parish-wide.
councilmen that does not want it. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but, you know, some situation, is what the law says.
So what good is the parish, what the parish supposed to do? Just go up there and just cut grass and that's it?
We can
That's
maintain
it.
what we have servitude on, that's what we.
That's
That's
it,
it.
just cut grass, just a park, and that's it?
No,
Can't
no.
cut grass, that's it, that's what you telling us.
Maintain what
If it
we
can't go
have
nowhere else to cut grass.
Anywhere that they have servitude, they are
Oh,
maintained and
please.
drained.
Come on,
Okay.
you just voting to be voting. I
All right,
don't-
so, what the thing about the trees in the ditch,
He'll be,
Let
we're
me
gonna look
get
at,
with you after the meeting, I'd like to get your telephone number and everything, give you a call, meet you out there on your property and talk to you about the, trees and also getting you to sign a servitude on that ditch.
okay. All right. I'll wait around.
moving on to item number 10. Sandbagging machine, Greg?
Ron had put in a call to, Covington Equipment and the machine should be here in about 3 weeks.
Alright,
So I would say by the end of March, beginning of April, we should have the machine here and set up.
okay. Item number 11, report. Craig, you got any update?
Oh, well, we, on the Weno Canal, back on 943, digging the canal out, you know, the, Iberville Parish dug their part, so we had to dig our part to the parish line.
Alright,
And we on, we start cutting grass a little bit this week too, a couple of the tractors. And we digging on, Castro Road. And we digging on, Latina Road.
okay.
And we're going to start the,
Yeah, we're gonna start the, Mr. Landry job sometime next week.
Okay,
They got all the right of ways and stuff for it.
alright. Greg,
I don't have anything further.
alright, I have a question for you and Craig. On work requests, we used to get how many jobs y'all have done, how many miles of grass and whatever y'all cut. What happened to that report? Cause I like to see that report because, you know, I'm getting all these phone calls regardless of ditches and where, you know, where you're at on it, you know. And whatever we have to do to educate the public on what is the new procedure, we just can't do it. 'Cause I mean, I'm getting them phone calls all the time now. Mr. Landry called me. I got T-Non Landry called me. Mr. Hamilton and Bill and them. We're not doing something right, not letting them know what is the process and what is the new law is for us, how we do stuff in public work and drainage. So, I mean, I like to see that report come to us because I'm pretty sure Bill would like to know how many times you've done some work in his district. I like to know that too. You know?
We could get those reports.
All right. Moose, here.
I'm good.
Thomas, you
I'm
good?
good.
All right. Miss Peggy, item number 12.
April 5th.
All right. Item number 13.
Move to adjourn.
Second, meeting adjourned.